Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Build Your Best Life. I'm Coach Deborah, and I'm excited to be here today with my guest all the way from Freeport. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Deborah. Good to see you. Hello, everyone. Good to be here. Thanks for the invitation, Deborah.
Well, thank you for coming. Well, we are excited. We have a great topic for you today. But we want to thank everyone for always showing up, sending out those prayers, your comments, your shares, your likes. We appreciate it. So thank you very much. And thank you for everyone that's watching so far. Hi, Jocelyn. Hi, Kamara. How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in today as we talk about our blueprint for success and what we have going on today. So as I stated, we have a wonderful topic today. But you know, when you talk about traditional families, single parents, students, workers, executives, homemakers, entrepreneurs, no matter what matter of life or that you do for a living, whether you're a student or working or whatever you're doing, sometimes it can seem like you're just so busy. And then at the end of the day, you look around and it's like, well, what did I get done? And then sometimes you work and it's like you can see all your accomplishments. So we wanted to look into this mystical activity of being busy today. Yeah. Before we get into that, we want to hear some more from this lovely lady, Linda. So Linda, tell us what's been going on.
A lot and a little. I don't know. I'm in between, right? I'm in between. I'm just hosting an event, being a presenter at another one, and just kind of like working with children in between. So it was like a whole jam-packed weekend last weekend. And so this week I'm trying, taking it a little easy. And then of course I'm showing up here, but everything is going well. And I can definitely say that I am loving every moment of it. And so Vito, of course, sends greetings, and I'm happy to say and boast, I can boast that I'm a mother of 3, and I am just loving what I am doing and how I'm showing up and just being there to impact lives. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And yes, you are impacting lives. And as we talk about our topic today, busy working, when I look at you and your life, it's just amazing to me to see all that you can get done because you have a lot on your plate. You say that you have 3 children, and they are like different generations because you
Yes.
have college kids,
Mhm.
lower grade. Now is one in high school or both
Yes.
twins?
Yes. Boys in high school. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So
Then
that in
she's
itself, I think I'm living through multiple generations, it seems. And
yep.
so, you can't just sit back and relax because I'm like, oh yes, I have a college student now, so I can be free. Like we have an empty nest, but no, it's not quite empty. It's not empty at all because we have an 8-year-old and she's like having all 3 kids home all at once. She's like having 30 kids actually because she is a handful. And I'd usually tell people if I had her first, I probably wouldn't have had any more kids. But anyway, she's the baby and she has our entire heart. So kind of life revolves around her. That's how she would have it. But, we try to manage around her schedule. Yes, we try to do that. Yeah. So it's really interesting navigating between the 3 of them, and with 2 of them not presently at home, and with it just being her, Victory K at home, it just kind of makes our family dynamics so different, because now we're doing more um, Zoom calls, we're doing more WhatsApp calling, and all these different things, using accessing social media to keep in touch with our children, and just to kind of like keep everything together. So it's still us as the Patrick starting 5, like we used to say, as we, do whatever to impact the world.
All right. And then on top of that, I know you're very active in your church, and you and Vito have a unique couples platform, and you are doing it up on there. So I know that's taking a lot of your time. You have a new
Yes.
school, and then you have a position as with the children's director. So you have a lot going on.
Yes, definitely. And then, of course, I intentionally didn't listen when I went. You asked me for an updated bio, and of course, for the original bio, I had I had not placed all of these other positions and things that I'm responsible for. I had not placed it in there, and I attempted to go and write it all in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all of this. It was just so much to write. I'm like, I don't want anyone to ever have to read everything because I know it will seem overwhelming. But the wonderful thing is, so I am a pilot. Um, I'm a, I'm the at least one of the founding members of the Sunset Pilot Club of Grand Bahama, and we basically help with brain safety, promote brain safety, and then take care of caretakers. So with all of that and all of the other stuff, and being responsible for things with Northern Caribbean University, a whole lot of stuff with my local church, and at conference level, doing stuff at that level as well. But the great thing is most of them don't occur at the same time. Yes. So that's a relief. Most of them don't. And I've kind of planned out the year so that the things that I know that will be coming up or that I plan to do, they are all scheduled out through the year. So now the things that pop up, that is what I have to kind of learn to navigate.
All right, sounds good. Hi, Agnes. Thank you for tuning in.
Ooh, I need to see who is on too.
Vito. Hi, Vito.
Okay. I need to get, let me see if anyone from the 2 for 2 is on. They need to come on and share. And I have to share too. Yeah, I've been so busy talking. Okay. Yes.
So, thinking about the people that you personally interact with Do you think most people are busy working, or are they working hard?
Well, um, that's kind of like twofold. Are they busy working? I know a whole lot of people are busy working, and then that's all. Work as in busy working on a job, and that's it. Busy working, period. That's it. And then you have persons who are working hard to build the life that they want, their best life. So it's not just about um, working for someone else, and nothing is wrong with actually doing that if you decide, but then you have to work on other things as well, like work on your family life, work on who are you going, what are you going to be doing when you retire, or are you going to enjoy your life now so it doesn't feel like, Coach Ricardo would say, like, enjoy the life that you don't need to take a vacation from. So
Right.
a lot of people are busy, and then I had to learn to get out of that busyness as well. So it to me, it was like I was, manipulating so much, trying to get all of these plates. I'm just juggling all of these plates, all of these different things that I have to do, all of these different roles. Um, that I have to take responsibility for. And then I had to realize that I need to stop the busyness and actually be productive. So a lot of people might be busy doing stuff, but what is the impact of what they're doing? Are they just being busy to occupy time, or are they actually getting things done and making an impact? And so I had to change from being busy to actually being productive. And so I have um, basically, when I look at it, Deborah, I can say that for me personally, I am pretty tall. So I'm pretty tall, right? And so you could type that in the chat for me so I could definitely remember that. So I'm pretty tall. So the P is for I'm a presenter, right? Tall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a teacher, aspiring author, advocate, a leader, a listener, a speaker, and definitely a sharer, because I'm always sharing and I'm encouraging people and letting them know if I found out anything that's interesting or nice. So I'm doing all of these things. And yes, talls with an S, 2S, right? I'm pretty tall, right? And so
Spell it for me. I'm sorry.
yes, I'm doing all of these things, but in the space of it, there was a time when I'm just juggling and juggling. And guess what? The plates began to fall. Not only fall, but crash to the ground. Crash to the point where I even physically crashed and my body shut down because I was so busy being busy. And I started to write on a Facebook post today as I thought about the conversation that we would have today. And because I just hosted a candid conversation and charcuterie ladies experience that was last Sunday, right? So for a group of ladies. So I just hosted that event. And prior to that, that Saturday, I was at Princess Court. I'm a leading lady there. So I was doing some stuff there. But the Friday, so this is like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Friday, Vito and I hosted a marriage. We were a marriage. This was they call it a game night, whatever. So we kind of like did games with a difference and with a purpose. And so we hosted the event. We hosted it. So we were responsible for everything related to that, right? So it's all of these different things. And then so the week is here. We're going into the week and people are asking me, how do you do it? How have you done it? Like, how do you do it? And then I'm like questioning myself and I'm asking, how do I do it? How do I do it all? I'm asking myself the question because so many people kept asking me, how do I do it? How do I get to accomplish it? And then, of course, when I thought about the conversation today, Deborah, I said, I think the main thing is the why. Because everyone is asking the how. And then I started to question myself and ask how. But then it really wasn't the how, because I'm actually doing it. Like, I'm actually doing it with my full-time job and everything, a full-time wife to full-time mother. And I'm doing all of these things, active and involved in, and loving every moment of it. It's not something where I'm being bitter and in the background saying, boy, why are these people calling on me? No, I'm actually loving it. You know, I'm organizing events. I'm doing a little decorating on whatever on the sun. I'm getting speakers. I'm doing this, and I'm being a speaker at stuff, and I'm doing all of it. And then the question really for me is not the how I do it. It's the why. Because the why drives the how. It's like when you have a dream and it's so big and it's so compelling and it just drives you to maybe put in that time early in the morning or stay up a little later at night. When you have that, and when I thought about what it is I have and what I've been through and what I want to accomplish and what I want to show people, that, hey, guess what? You can have that life. You can live the life that you want. You can overcome whatever challenge and smile through it all. And when I think about the place that I am now compared to where I was, it really is the why that makes it possible. Because the how can happen, but it's the why that backs it up. And so the why makes a difference. So when people have their why, they can turn that busyness into productivity and make it work for them.
Awesome. That's right. It makes a big difference too. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's like I was up last night, and then it's like Dan's like, okay, I'm going to lay it down. I'm like, okay. And then the next thing I know, I was in my office doing something. We're talking after 12 o'clock. And it's like, but I can be tired. But if it's something that Build Your Best Life pops in my head, it's like I get that spurt of energy because I enjoy what I do.
That's it. That's it. Loving and enjoying it. And it's a part of it, just like you feel compelled to do it. It's not, it's not like, someone is forcing you to.
Right.
It's that you want to. And not wearing yourself down or wearing your body down. Because trust me, we can do that. Even in the good, we can do things that harm us, because you can keep going, and that can harm you. So we definitely need to make sure that we are keeping our bodies and minds healthy. And there's, several things that I do to make sure that, yes, there's busyness, which, of course, I'm talking about being productive. So I'm working hard, but I'm being productive in what I do. There is kind of like a formula that I use to make sure that it happens. And I do not get to the point, because Deborah, I was at a point maybe about a year or two ago, not last year. So it's been 2 years ago, where I lost my voice the second time. And so when it happened the first time, it happened the first time, and it happened as a child. I lost my voice, which was not being able to speak, because there were things that I wanted to say. So that was more of a lost my voice mentally. Mm-hmm. But when I lost my voice physically, in the space of what I was dealing with physically with my body, and when I got sick, I realized that I didn't want it to end that way. I didn't want it to be that I didn't say what I needed to say. I didn't help who I needed to help. I didn't make the impact or help people have transformation, because I was too quiet, or I was too timid or scared to open up my voice and say the things that needed to be said. And so when I lost my voice and my breath and I couldn't breathe, and when I got it back, I remember praying to God and asking him, I can't live with this normal. I needed to be able to speak. And so when I got it back, that was it. It was like a dam open, break open, and I was just determined to do. And so people see me doing it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing a lot. How do you do it? I don't know if I could do it." And that's because my why drives me. And when people find their why and they find their purpose and they find what it is that they're supposed to be doing to bring honor and glory to God, and when they get that, that drives everything. And so when I got my voice back and was able to breathe again, I decided that I was not going to let anything stop me. Just like how when we started Unique Couples, it was during the time after Hurricane Dorian. That was like a devastating storm that impacted Grand Bahama and Abaco. I think we spoke about it before, right, Deborah? Right. And so that was a time. And in the space of that, Vito and I decided, we're like Sweet 16. But we were waiting until we went into our 20th year. It's like, yeah, when we reach 20, then people will take us seriously. And we'll do our marriage thing officially and, help couples and do the marriage coaching and, do our platform. But when Hurricane Dorian came, it was like, oh no, we have to do this now because we are not guaranteed the 20th year. People were hurting now and we needed to do something then. And so when my voice went and I realized that, hey, all of the things I wanted to do, I need to do because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Like I may not live to see 2 years from now when the things on my bucket list are like needing to be filled, the things that I want to do or the people I want to help and the impact I want to make, it's not going to wait. And so when the opportunity arises, I simply breathe and I ask God, is this something that you want me to do? Make a way.
All right. That's good. Yep. That why. That is so important. And I think, is it Cha-Cha? Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes. Charlize. Thanks for joining us.
And Kamara, thank y'all for the comments in the chat, because all of us have a why, we've been thinking about a why, we have a why. So what are we doing with those whys? That's something to think about. Are you holding on to it, waiting for later, like Linda mentioned? Just holding on to it, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And I often say there are so many books and speakers and manuscripts and plays and songs and all this stuff in the cemetery. Yep. Why? Because people were waiting and their time passed and they didn't share with the world all these gifts that God has given them. So when we have that why, we know that why, we need to get out and work on it, utilize the talents and gifts that we have, because I love what Linda said, it's not the how do you get it done when it looks like you're doing so much, but it's the why you're doing it helps you to get it done. Mm-hmm. And that is so, so true. And thank you, Dan, for tuning in. And anybody else, if you have a why that you want to tell us about, put it in the comments. We will be so happy to share. Yes, and it will make you get up early or stay up late. Hi. And I didn't say that, but I don't want to butcher the name.
Oh, Novelette. Okay. All right. I want to share what God has given me. Awesome. Yes. Thanks for joining us, Novelette. Y'all remember to share now. Share. And, I noticed when I said the talls, right? I'm pretty talls. Mm-hmm. That last S is because I don't keep the good news, because I think there's just this mindset. I'm more in the growth mindset and the abundance mindset, meaning that there's enough for all of us. And so I share when I hear about good things. I share when I see great things happening. So I'm a sharer because I know that I'm not the only one who should benefit from when great things are happening. Other people can benefit as well. So y'all go ahead and share now. Share, Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. I know this isn't a part of Deborah's, whatever she had me on for, and I'm going totally off script, but Go ahead and share and get your book as well. My book is all dog-eared and stuff like that, right? Go and get your book, Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. Right? So go and get that and share with young men. We guess what, Deborah? There's just so many persons. We're talking about, especially in this month, motivating and empowering women. And we're doing all of this. We're empowering these women. Yay! And I believe in empowerment. But we cannot leave our men behind. You're empowering all these women, and then the young men are left behind, and they have all of these empowered women. So who are they going to be connected to? So, hey, yes, let's empower women. I'm more into empowering families because I'm working with the children, I'm working with women, and we're working with couples. And so go ahead and get that book and share it with a young man so that he, when we're empowering these women, we have men who are empowered as well.
Right.
Okay, so go and grab your book.
You don't want these women to be out there all powered up and ready to go, and they don't have anyone to share it with because nobody's meeting that level. Nobody's showing that respect. No one has those skills. So we want to make sure that our young men are there as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Thanks, Cha-Cha. Yes, we got to keep them motivated and out there. And talking about motivated, so we know, and we can tell from your talk that you just had, as you do all these things that you do, does that help fuel your motivation? What keeps you thriving and keeps you going?
Oh, I remember when we started like Unique Couples, Vito and I, when we started we had this hashtag, this line, and we was like, you see one more. Unique Couples, you see one more. So it was like, if it was just one family, one couple we impacted, that would make a difference. So we could host and have a program or whatever it was and do a live, and maybe 10 persons show up, or maybe it was just that one couple that found value in what we did and what we said, and it changed their lives, which changed their children's life, which changed their family and generations' life. If it was just that one person,
right,
that it made a difference for, then it would be worth it. And so with the spirit of that, I think, because so much of what we do is personal, like behind the doors, behind the scenes, we don't really know what happens in these families most of the times, unless people report on it. So we don't really get a lot of feedback, but, oh, yes, it was good. And, especially with the virtual stuff that we do. But then we do have people who come in and they say, oh, man, that was good. The talk was great. Those points that you gave, your story that you shared, they really helped me. Keep doing what you're doing. Great job. We're listening. We love what you do. Keep at it. So we get those, and that helps, but we don't depend on them. Because there would be times when we don't hear anything, and we don't want it to be where we're just doing it to get the accolades. We're doing it because we want to hear someone say, good job, or give us a pat on the back, or send us some money, or buy our products, or attend an event. No, we don't do it because of that. So what keeps us motivated is knowing that just that one person. And we might never know, because that person might not be the one to tell us. But just imagine just going to heaven and hearing from someone and that we made a difference. But more than that, it's hearing from God. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. That motivates us, because we know that marriage was established from creation, and it's a part. God invented marriage, and he loves the fact that we can get together as humans, social, and he has anointed and blessed that union. And the fact that we are in it, encouraging happy and healthy marriages, we know that, hey, we are definitely performing a ministry. And of course, we have to watch out, because we know the devil doesn't like it. But that motivates us.
That's right.
Motivates me to do what I'm doing, even as I work with women and children and doing all of these other stuff. It motivates me to know that I might not see the results now, but that's okay. I might not hear, great job. I might not get an award for what I'm doing, but that's okay. Because the greatest award is what I will get when the master speaks to me.
I love that. I love that so much because, I said earlier, we have these gifts and talents. And even, if we don't want to do it for ourselves, so many of us, just like you and Vito, are so gifted to help couples. I mean, just really a wealth of information, ideas, hearing from other couples. It's just amazing. But what if you didn't share that and you didn't help one person? Again, God sees that and hears that, and He's not pleased because, well, I gave that to Vito and Linda for them to share, so to help someone, and they're not helping anyone. And so I know, like with young men, I'm not going to make any money or anything like that from young men. Young men may never get on Build Your Best Life, but the hopes that they'll see one of my posts, or they'll get a hold of my book, or their mothers will get on here and they can learn something and say, son, but you need to do this and you need to do that. If I can help one young man overcome their obstacles and build their best lives, my goodness. I mean, that makes me want to just run around this room.
Yes.
So it's just, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just amazing. And that, what you can do with what you can do with what you can do. And we all have something. It's all something different. So whoever you can help with what you have, go ahead and do it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So good. So Linda, can you advise our audience on how to work smart and they don't have to work hard? You've already given them a lot of nuggets, first that dealing with the why and being motivated, but tell them some things that they can do to assist them in using their gifts and talents to do things, and it won't seem like work, but they'll enjoy doing it and they'll know their why.
Yes, definitely. So when I look at, like, taking it personally or looking at my life and what I have done and the things that have brought me here to the point where I am, it's sometimes easy to be on the other side and tell people, oh, just do this and do that. But when you've experienced it yourself and you have gone through and you've had personal experience with the situation, you're better able to kind of like, yeah, I've lived this. And so I know. So when I think about what I could say with everything that's going on and how I could encourage people to work smart or work and not work hard, I would have to refer to the things that I've done, what has helped me in terms of working hard. All right. And one of the things that I mentioned was, I pray. So I am constant in prayer. So if you want to go ahead, this is like a watermelon. You eat the watermelon, but throw the seeds. So take what's for you and then just leave the rest, basically. So if something I said that, hey, you want to go ahead and try it. But if it's not for you, then hey, move on. But one of the things that I do, I'm constant in prayer. So it's not physical, my head is bowed and my eyes are closed, that it has to be that way. But I'm constantly in prayer, meaning that I'm always talking to God. And when I'm talking to Him, I'm asking Him about the biggest decisions and even the smallest details. So when things are coming up, events, things in my life and things that I have to get done, I talk to Him about it. Okay, this is coming up. I need to know how to tackle this. Will be a good idea. And I'm just like this. And I'm like, how I could get this done. I need to be able to figure out how to do this. And what if this happens? And how could I get this person? And how would I deal with? And I'm constant in prayer. So that's one of the things that I do. So, hey, if you want to take that and grab that and run with that, go ahead. Number two, one of the things that I do is I have a network of support. Okay, so I'm not doing everything for myself. And trust me, I've been at the point where I have done everything by myself, for things, for other people, and it doesn't work. It's not effective. It will lead to burnout. It will lead to your body shutting down. It will lead to you not being able to help and make a difference because you were just accessing the power of one. But I have learned to access the power of many. And so I have a network of support, different teams. I also have different teams. So depending on what I'm doing and which area I'm working with different teams. And sometimes the teams join up together, but most of the time the teams are separate. So I have team members supporting. I have various, they're supporting the various initiatives that I have to do. And so that's a good thing to do as well. Make sure you have a network of support, people you can call on based on what you need. And that is developed through a relationship. So it's not just, oh, I'm calling you because I need you for this. No, you have to be intentional about nurturing that relationship. So when you do need to access these people, they're ready and able because you have poured into their life too. You're there for them. You're supporting them. You're encouraging them. You need to be able to do that. And so number three, I would say surround yourself. I surround myself with quality people. Okay, who are great at what they do. And I tap into their talents. So not only do I have a network of support, I also surround myself with talented persons. Okay. And so they're great at what they do. And I'm learning from them even as they're learning from me. So it's a co independent situation. We're all learning, iron sharpened iron. And so we have that going on. And I make sure that I connect and stay in groups so that I can definitely be, you don't want to just be the smartest person in the room or the wealthiest one. You need to be able to have room to grow. So you need to surround yourself with people who will propel you and help you to grow. And so that is one of the things that I try to do too. So if you want to go ahead and try that, I know that it will definitely work wonders. And then for number four, I would say I only say yes to what is true, honest, good, pure, and that brings a good report. And that is something that I learned from Philippians, right? Philippians reminds me of that. I don't know doing that, but anyway.
Repeat that one, Linda.
Philippians reminds me of actually doing that, and I think I get the right text. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. And I remember singing this song as a child, but I remember learning it, right? And I was like, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just. And I just remember singing it. And it has shaped so much of my life that I don't want to be associated with things that are not going to be healthy and productive and bring out the best in people. So if it's not doing that, if it's not going to bring a good report, if it's not going to reflect greatly, positively on what I do or who I serve, then I tend to say no to those engagements. Okay, so that kind of limits the engagements that I do participate in because I am not going to participate in things that will either destroy people or leave them bitter, hurt, in pain, or any of these other things. So I stay away. I only say yes to the things that will benefit people. And I say no to all of the hanky-panky and fake and dishonest dealings. I say no to those things because my reputation is something that I've built, and it's easy for it to be taken away. It's hard. It's. I think you mentioned that in your book too. Something about it's
It's 1 second.
yeah. 1 second you can lose it. It takes a long time to build. So that was definitely something I had to make sure of. So I guard my reputation very very strongly. And then number 5, I would say I include the Patrick starting 5. So that's me, Vito, and I, and our 3 kids. So we make it a family thing. If it's something that the kids can get involved in, we make sure that they're involved, so that not only are we're being a family, but we're also serving together. And that, of course, increases the bond between us as family members. Now, if it's something that, is more adult oriented, then it will be something that Vito and I do. We make it a couple affair. So we make it something for just the 2 of us to do. We make sure that we're serving together, we're helping together, we're doing things together, working together to impact lives. And so we make it a couple affair. I said we get the kids involved. We make sure that if they're not involved and it's something that it's just, us 2, we make sure that they're catered to. We make sure that they're doing something productive in the time that we are away from them, that they are occupied with something that is engaging and productive, so that it's not they're left on their own, they're parenting themselves, and we are off doing ministry. Because at the end of the day, we have to be accountable for our children and what we expose them to and what is happening with them. So if they're not involved, we make sure that they're engaging in something engaging, healthy, productive. Okay. And another point, I think this will be like number 6 or so, I would say, and I'm really big on this one, and most of the people who know me will know that this is a thing for me. So I stay away from negative and focus on the positive. And that's people, places, and spaces. Okay, so it's focus on the positive. So I'm always looking to be a part of the solution instead of the problem. So I'm not going to spend all my time talking about the problem. The problem day in, day out, night and day, talking about the problem everywhere I go, talking about the problem. Because guess what? By the time I spend all my time talking about the problem, I will be of no help to myself or anybody else, because I've been so bogged down with negative. All my creative juices, all of your creative juices will be depleted, because all you're seeing is the problem. But instead, I focus on the solution. Yeah, so a little attention to the problem. What is the problem? But then the list for the solutions are very long, Deborah. It's like so many solutions. When you focus on how can I get this? How can we make this work? How can we get this done? And then the solutions, like all of the options, it's like, oh my goodness, there are just so many things. Now the problem is, which one should I choose? Because there's so many solutions to this one problem. So I find myself staying away from the negative, but not just staying away from the negative. I focus on the positive. I accentuate the positive. So when I speak, I want to speak positive. Who I hang around, I want it to be a positive situation. So in that positivity, it releases my creativity. So then I'm able to think clearer, deeper, plan better, and then do things to impact people and lives, because I'm in a positive space. When you're in a positive space, it's like you're in connection with God. Negativity doesn't connect with God. When you're in a positive frame of mind and you're thinking about solutions, you are in your creative mood, and that position comes from God, because He is a creator. Okay, so when the negatives come, know that that is not from God. You're not in the space of creating when you're just harping on all of the things that are wrong and not opening your mind to what you can do to create change and make an impact for your community, for your family, for the world, for wherever you are. So, and even for you personally. So, I would encourage people to get in your positivity space, get on the creative side of what you do. Allow that brain, our brain power that we're not using all of, we're just using a tiny bit of that power that we have, that God has designed our brain for. We're only using a small portion of it. So when you are connected and communing with God and in that positivity mode, you will allow so much more to be able to happen. And the things that you think, oh my goodness, I can't do, when you release yourself from the negative, you would be surprised at how much you can do in that space. So yes, I am tall. I am tall. I am pretty tall.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
And I'm going to encourage, yes, people to, live what it is that you are called to do in that moment. And I had to realize too, Deborah, and that kind of helped me to shave off some of this, so much things that I'm doing, because I remember preparing for an event, right? And I was thinking I was focused on so many external things about putting these things together and organizing, and how would the room look, and what should be on the table, and all of these different things, the reception. I'm focused on all of these things. And I was fine and well for that particular event. And then I had to realize, and it came to me, that what I was called to do in that moment was not what I like to do. So I was allowing what I like to do to keep me from my call, or to keep me from my calling. In that moment, I was called to speak. But instead of speaking, I was organizing. I was decorating. I was planning. I was doing all sorts of things. But in that moment, I was called to speak. I was called to share. I was called to tell and present. And I allowed the moment to slip away.
Wow.
So now I have to realize what I am called to do in the season that I am in. And I'm telling the ladies, the young men, and everyone who listen and who's hearing, know what you are called to do in the season that you are in.
Amen. Yes, yes,
And
yes.
that will make a difference.
That makes a difference. That is it in a nutshell. That is awesome. Thank you for all those tips. I love it. Consistent in prayer, network of support. You got to have the support. What does Coach say? There's someone that's assigned to assist you.
Someone assigned. I love it. I love it. Right?
Yes. Yes. Surround yourself with quality people. But you want to have that relationship with them. It's not just what can you do for me, it's what can we do for each other. Win-win. Only say yes to what is good, true, and honest. I love it. No hanky-panky.
Nope, unless it's the one in the bedroom with your spouse. So I'm going to leave it like that. If you want to hear more, then leave me couples, marriage club.
And then a Patrick family affair, you include everyone in it, unless it is for you and Vito, then it's the couples affair.
Mm-hmm.
It's for, otherwise you want to include your family. You don't always want them to be off, or you don't want them to be by yourself. Like you said, the two oldest ones, they're gone or they're away, so you're not going to leave little mama by herself. So, hey, we together in this thing.
Yes.
Yes, and stay away from the negative. Focus on the positive. You can't. Ooh, we need a banner with that on. We need a blimp flying over stadiums and balloons with that. All kind of signs with that on it. Stay away from the negative and focus on the positive. The
Definitely.
world would be so much better. That's great. Thank you so much, Linda. This has been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love it. I love you. I'm so glad that you had time to come and share with us today.
Yeah, I always have time for you, Deborah. Just let me know. And I will carve out a special piece of time. And I can't wait till we get to actually, do our in-person, stuff as well. But it's always my pleasure to be on Build Your Best Life because, hey, whatsoever things are true, honest, good rapport. And I definitely believe that Build Your Best Life is doing just that, helping our young men. So I'm always excited because guess what? It connects with our platform and we might not see it now, but these young men are going to get married one day. And we need the healthy women because we're raising healthy boys, young men, right? And we need the women for these young men as well. So it's all going to be connected. So I love the fact that you're building these young men. And so I'm always willing to support. Thank you again for the invitation to join you as we talk about busy working. I hope that I got to really, make an impact on what you wanted for the show today. But I just want to say that and encourage our listeners to don't just be about the busyness. I was at that point where I was busy because it was more of trying to fill in a void.
Right.
People might, they have different vices. And for me, busyness was a vice. It was something that helped me to forget, helped me to not think about the things that I didn't want to deal with. And so I kept busy, being busy, but I had to stop the busyness, deal with the situation, and then learn to be productive. So if you find yourself just being busy, ask yourself why, and then ask yourself, what is your why? And then get about being productive.
Yes. Why?
Yep.
Yes. So thank you all for tuning in. And if you did not get the entire broadcast, you will have to go back and look at it again. You can go out on Facebook or YouTube, and I'm pretty sure you will enjoy it. So please continue to share. If only one person gets something good out of this, it will be a blessing. But I think I know Linda left us with some great nuggets on how we can better maneuver through life to ensure that we are using the gifts and talents that we have to help others. So please share. And thank you so much for tuning in. Please join us this Thursday on Let's Talk About It. And our topic is going to be Let's Engage in Next Level Thinking. And those words come up with an acronym for Lent. So we're going to be talking about, this is a time when different people come up with different things that they say that they are giving up for Lent. But we want to kind of get down into the root of that. And when we give up those things, what is it that we are doing? Why are we doing it? So please join us Thursday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Central Standard Time. Well, let's engage in next level thinking. So again, thank you so much. And hey, don't let this be a one-time visit to Build Your Best Life. Follow me here on Facebook. Subscribe to my Build Your Best Life YouTube page. I would love to have you on here again. I thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. Thank you again, Linda. I love everybody. Be blessed, stay safe, and I hope to see some of you on Thursday. Take care, Linda.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone. 242 was representing. Bye. Thanks, Julie and everyone.